Welcome, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great 4th of July weekend. And we gotta go get something to drink. Yeah, I was gonna do an intro with this, but my phone, when I start recording it, does not want to flip the camera. So we're gonna go. You guys are gonna join me. You have anything in these canteens? No. This has all been cleaned out, I think. Normally I fill that up with Gatorade. But here, we're going to showcase my gun collection here in a second. Let me grab a couple things. Before we get started here, I'm going to go ahead and kick it off with this. I wish I could flip the camera. Okay, that's for zooming in. Okay, so we have my gun collection. I've emptied everything else out. So we're strictly going to be going over my gun collection and everything that I got. There's quite a bit of guns. There's 11 guns here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Pardon the mess. I've been going through everything and reorganizing. So, starting off, we're gonna start off this over here. The first gun in my gun collection is in fact a Remington 511. And honestly, it's really not a bad gun. It's the 511P. And this gun is just, it is magnificent, truly, I gotta say. And this is a 1960s rifle. These were pretty common back in the day, and these are the old mags. This is an original mag. They came with the gun. This is the only mag I have for it. Holds about 8 rounds, I believe. But yeah. And these could be had for just about $200. The polish, the wood grain on this, the finish is just really nice. And there's your bolts when you go and flip the safety off. Pull that, and that's when you know there's not a round chambered or whatever. But I already cleared the mag. Don't worry about it. But do practice firearm safety. But I just wanted to show you that little thing will turn red, and there's your basic selector switch, on and off. That's, yeah, on, off. And it has this nice, like, silvery looking chrome. You can polish these individually, and I don't know, man, it just looks very magnificent. It is a very elegant little 22. I was surprised with it. Next up is my polymer framed 22. Sights are adjustable for windage and elevation. So whenever you click this little notch up here, it starts raising this up like that. So now it's for your elevation. It's a very magnificent, very awesome. Next is a more interesting gun of mine. It is my Wasser 10. I mainly run my 30 round mags with this. They're polymer mags. I don't have a metal mag yet. I have a single 40 rounder, and I have a 75 round drum, and I have like 5 or 6 30 rounders. So yeah, I do have full furniture swap on this. This is a really nice gun. This, like I said, this is my Wasser 10. It's imported by Century Arms. And Yep, it's in 7.62 by 39 millimeter. Don't want to show too much, but yeah, no, this is really nice. I got a Magpul grip on it. I have very large hands. It's a fairly decent weighted rifle. Here, popping off the dust cover, the internals are all standard, nothing custom, but it is still nonetheless a really nice cycling rifle. And for the price, it is pretty tough to beat this, especially this being my first AK. Like I said, it is Romanian. So, and I've not had any real issues with it. It's a nice rifle. It cycles really good. I've only had maybe 2 issues, but that was due to ammo I was running. Anyway, moving on. Now, this is a very interesting piece, a very interesting firearm. This only holds, I believe, 4 rounds, so it's not as badass as it looks. But this is a G-Force Arms GF3T. I think that stands for 3-chamber, but you can chamber 1 in the thing and then load 3 in your tube, I believe. So I think at maximum it holds 4. I used to run a flashlight underneath this, and this was my home defense rig until I got my AR-15 decked. We'll talk about that. It came like this. It has this really nice pistol grip, and a pistol grip pump is just it's awesome. It is truly an awesome weapon. And it is truly classy. I really like this shotgun. It's a nice running shotgun, and I mean, it has these really nice sights. It's like a ghost ring here, and this is an elevated front sight post with a really awesome fiber optic, kind of similar to the fiber optic like sights that this has. Green for the rear, red for the front, which is kind of cool, I guess, if you really need them. They're really nice. Next is my real shotgun. I call this a real shotgun. It's a joke because that pump action, it's how do you say, it's nice, but it's not as nice as it looks. It looks a lot nicer than what it is. This is a Winchester SXP. I bought it. We got it when it was new. This is a brand new shotgun, and it's been used quite a bit, and it is just such an excellent shotgun, and it's held up so well. What's really nice is it does have a rotating bolt, a reciprocating bolt, and so I do believe it auto ejects shotgun shells. It does not auto load, it auto ejects. So after you're shot, it ejects it, making it the pump and the action generally pretty fast. I believe that's what it is. It's been so long since I've actually shot this shotgun. It's got a really nice grippy texture here. And the stock has these interesting cutout design that I just don't really see on a whole lot of shotguns, but I thought it looked kind of cool. And it's just been a solid pump. Next, this, I'm not going to lie to you guys, this gun is not as cool as it looks. Believe me, it looks awesome. And it shoots awesome. However, this is a TriStar shotgun. Now, this shotgun might be made by Winchester. It's made in Turkey. This is the NKC MO. I don't know much about TriStar, but this shotgun is like held up a lot over the course of time. A bit of some like receipt, there's a small scratch right there, but this was a pre-owned shotgun. And so, I mean, it was kept in mostly good condition. There's just some small scratches on this side. On this side, there's no scratches at all. The pattern, the like floral like pattern kind of sort of thing they got going here, is also continued on the release lever. It is really sweet. And also underneath here, there's a TriStar logo. Then there's on the trigger guard, there's also another design imprinted on this. But yeah, no man, I mean for what I paid for this thing, it's really nice. It came with chokes, which are up there. My shotgun barrel is pointing right at it. It's underneath my swords. But it came with a whole set of chokes, and it also has a really nice fiber optic bead. It is a red fiber optic, but in the sun, it is very visible, and it is really nice. Next is a very interesting rifle, and the rifle next to it is almost slightly more interesting. Slightly. But this is my pride and joy. So, I've mentioned this on the channel a couple of times, but this, my friends... Here, let me set up a camera. Alright, guys. Alright. So, this is how fast you can cycle this. It's pretty fast. I don't really recommend going too fast on this old rifle, but you could really get this rifle to cycle fast. If this looks familiar to you, it should. For those of you World War II fans out there, this is basically a Kar 98K, and you're probably wondering, why am I able to cycle it so fast? That's all up to this little guy right here, the bolt itself. It's got a cut right here that flattens it, but the original Kar 98 bolt goes down here. And so it kind of gets in the way, but this is a Yugoslavian Kar 98K. And so doing it with one thumb's a bit difficult, but anyway, you slide this back and it works like a normal Mauser. And it basically is a Mauser to an extent. But essentially, this gun is just made in Yugoslavia. This is after World War II. Everything, all matching parts. And believe me, it is all numbered. And anyway, yeah. So over here, I'll tell you the Zastava M48 in 8mm. So yeah, this is a pretty hefty, pretty neat rifle. This is a very expensive rifle, I might add, and it is highly collectible. It has some great weight to it. The trigger pull is extremely smooth. I will demonstrate that for you. I don't really shoot this gun at all. I might shoot it one day, but this is the trigger. There's a nice break right about here, and then it's free. And then you got a nice wall right there, and then it's just instant release. It is a really nice trigger. So one of the interesting things about this rifle is when you go to do this, if you slide this thing back, you actually release the bolt assembly out. And now that's loose, and all you do is align it up and just slide it back in. And this is a really nice rifle. My friend bought an artillery bayonet, and we came in and we just slapped it on there just for shits and giggles to see if it would work, and it actually does work. And the front sight post is hooded. But no, this is a really nice rifle, and it truly is beautiful, highly clad. I mean, this is a very glossy finish. It is so glossy. So after I'm done touching it, I always wipe it down thoroughly. This rifle just has a regular matte finish. If you look over here, this one has more a satin finish. This one is completely matte almost. I mean, it's got a little bit of like basic shine on it. But this gun has some, it's got some character. This is a really old gun. So I didn't really expect much out of quality in terms of full condition and whatnot. And so you're probably wondering what this little thing is. I'll get to that. But anyway, this has a surprisingly smooth action. And it's got like these wax bead things, like they poured wax in here or whatever to make those, I think. And those are really old. And it's got this style of safety selection. And it's got normal sights, fully adjustable, or at least for elevation. And then you got your front sight right here. And there should just be something sticking out. But yeah. Well, anyway, if you want to make it shoot for a far range, you flip this over. So what this does is it raises it up for longer range, and it is adjustable for windage and elevation. And then what you want to do at this point is you want to go here, and you'll see this like little thing sticking out of the side, and flip it up. And now it is accurate for long range. You could flip it on either side. It's kind of neat. But this gun is from the late 1930s. So this is a really old gun. This is from the 1930s, ladies and gents. And it is a like precision 22. And again, this action is just so buttery smooth. I mean, if you guys felt this action, I mean, it is such a nice action. The trigger is extremely, it's like a featherweight trigger as well. Like, watch this. Like, look. That's it. That's all. Hold on, I just touched the side. Barely tapping it, man. It does feature a detachable magazine. However, I will warn you guys, this is a really old magazine. And I bought this for $180 after taxes. So this is your mag release. It is built into the magazine. The other thing is, if you look in there, there is no metal mag well. That's all just wood. So, you know. For future reference, for those people that just... and sometimes fiddling around with it, you might want to put it in this way, but you want to have it fully set back. It rides along this thing. This lines perfectly up with this. You want to make sure that that hooks in, and then this locks it in place. So for an old 1930s or a late 1930s, early 40s design, this holds up fairly well over the years. As you can see, it actually works. And you slide it in and click it in, and guess what? It's not coming out. It is a wonky looking firearm design, and here I will go ahead and set this down right here just so you guys can get a full look of this rifle. It looks fairly normal at first, and then you're like, wow, that is really thick. It is about, I want to say 3 or 4 inches, like, yeah, that's plenty of hand space. But yeah, for a little kid, for a first gun, this is extremely wonky. This is like a 50-50. One, because it's very traditional and it's highly adjustable, and it is a decent little rifle. But two, I wouldn't recommend it being your kid's first gun because working on these things can be a bit weird and wonky. And the old age and design, just, I don't know, man. If you're a firearms enthusiast like myself, all old firearms are somewhat interesting to an extent. And so just like looking at it, it looks like magnificent, obviously. But still, like, it's not top of the line quality. So for those wondering what this gun is, this is a Ward's Western Field number 46D. This gun also, fun fact, does not have a serial number. So some people might ask, is that legal to own? And the answer is yes. It is actually legal to own. Not because it is an antique, but because every firearm made after 1964, it doesn't have to have a serial number. Because after that date, the law passed where all firearms will have a standardized serial number on all new firearms produced after that law. Because this was a 1930s gun, this happened way before that law was even thought of. And so because of that 30 or so years later, a little gun like this would come into question. And obviously now today, it's not a big deal. So it's kind of like a legal ghost gun, except it's not exactly a ghost gun. The government knows you have these things because when you take your background check and buy this gun, a separate form is filled out. I don't know what the form is called, but basically just sort of the dealer or whoever's selling you this firearms does some sort of form thing where the government knows that the gun has been transferred. The government knows that the gun has been transferred. They know that you are now the owner of this gun and whatever else, blah, blah, blah. So it's not exactly a ghost gun, so don't get too excited. But it's kind of cool because it doesn't have a serial number, and it's legal. So that's kind of a neat little feature with this. It's kind of a wonky feature, but for $180, I just couldn't say no. In today's economy, I already had two 22s. One of them being a bolt action, but this is a 60s model gun. And it is like a really early 60s. I don't know if it has a production year on it. And this thing can also take 22 short, as well as 22 long rifle. It just has such a nice, appealing aesthetic, by the way. This is a really nice rifle. Anyway, moving on to the fun stuff. So this is my Smith & Wesson M&P 15. This is just a nice rifle. It's got Magpul MOE furniture mostly. Magpul. This is a off-brand called ProTech. It's a flashlight. And apart from all that, I also have a Mission First Tactical dust cover. So for people wondering, yeah, this is the same AR-15. And it just has a really, really nice piece. Collapsible stock, fully adjustable, but it is your standard AR stuff. I can go on all day talking about this, but I love angled foregrips. And I also kind of like tactical foregrips, but I just like the whole gripping the gun like normal and just having a little something for a more aggressive rest on this, because I think that just looks and feels more comfortable for me. But vertical grips, V grips, they work. I prefer the tactical grips, the angled foregrips. Anyway, next in line, and I took off the optic protectors just for this video. I already pre-did that. I have them slung over there somewhere, but just going over my hunting rifle. So for a hunting rifle, it is missing one key component, a sling. Why is it missing a sling? Well, because I got this little buddy attached to it. And to be honest with you guys, I guess while I'm hunting, I also suppose just mounting up with a good bipod setup is kind of neat, because guess what? I really like this gun. This is the Savage Axis, and its calibration is 6.5 Creedmoor, so it takes some pretty big bullets. And so yeah, this would basically be my hunting rifle. Yeah. I'm not even sure. Oh, the trigger pull, by the way. It is butter smooth. This gun is just really nice. And by the way, this is just a cheap $40 bipod, and the optic here just really nice. You can't really see it. Here, let me do some stuff real quick. Alright. You might be able to see a little something. A little something, something. Yeah, you can't really, because if you're in real life and know what you're doing, how to look down a scope, you can get, but on a phone camera, not really. The gun was about, I'd say, $500. Pretty sweet. Next is this thing. Back to TriStar. This actually won Shotgun of the Year. This is the safety selector. Normally I have these on safe, but for this one, it's on fire. But I'd also mag check. It's empty. For those wondering, whoa, what does this thing shoot? Some ridiculously large round? Well, it shoots shotgun shells. This is, I already said Shotgun of the Year award, so I already kind of gave that up. There's nothing in the chamber, but I have it on fire for whatever reason. But safe, fire. Safe, fire. And anyway, yeah, so we have this really decent grip. The texturing on this, very soft. It is not aggressive. It's not as aggressive as it looks. But it is really nice and soft. But, it gives you just something just to sort of get a more familiar grip with. I like it. It is really nice. It comes with your front, or your Picatinny rail. You can't really mount anything onto this. Like, look how thin that is, honestly. You're not going to mount anything onto there. There's nothing that thin. You might be able to swap this for something better. You got this as your unscrew tube thing, and it's very aggressive. It's pretty sweet, but also we have this really sweet, and I know YouTube's probably wanting me to censor that, but this is not a suppressor. This is like a compensator. I know it's weird. If it's a it chokes it down a little bit, but it feels like a compensator slash flash hider sort of thing. It is not normal to the regular chokes that I run, but this does not in any way suppress the sound. All this does is just reduce recoil and decrease the spread, which, by the way, this thing's actually really accurate for what it is. You have a couple of options with your thing right here. Can flip for this. And it's such a tiny like little peep sight. Go for this. Or alternatively, you could flip it for this. So there being all these different like, and I guess there's also that. But between these different like sights, I find this one to be the best, or this one. This one or this one. And this is fully adjustable. And anyway, this is a semi-automatic magazine-fed 12-gauge shotgun. Semi-automatic 12-gauge shotgun magazine-fed. Just saying that this is a tool. I do not have the mag for this out at this time. I forgot the magazine in my bedroom because this is in my gun cabinet in my bedroom. But this is a Ruger PC carbine, and it has been tricked out. It basically has an American flag finish on it. This was not after I purchased the gun. This was how I purchased the gun. This has like a little bit of fade going into it, a little bit, whatever, who cares about that. It looks awesome. At first, I thought this was like a custom piece and just wanted to look at it. And, you know, I'm like, oh, somebody put some weird Call of Duty red, white, and blue camo design thing. Then as I got closer, it's an American flag. And guess what? It's a PC carbine. I always wanted one of these things. You know why? Well, because not only because they take Glock mags, and it is a very awesome, high quality gun, but because you could do this. Yes, you remove the barrel like that by just pressing forward on this. Yeah, that's right. You just want to press forward on this, and it actually releases this pin. This pin right here. My thumb's on. And it just goes back and forth, which releases it and locks it. Releases and locks. You put it in, and then you slide it back. It is such a neat method. It reminds me of a Nerf gun. Got to be really careful whenever you do what I'm doing. Oh, shit. Okay. Yep, you got to be really, really careful because your pinky, if this bolt slides home, that is just a bad day for anybody. It's worse than Garand thumb. I can confirm that. And slide back. Click down. Like that. Oh, and I released the mag. So yeah, that's right. You got to be really careful. This down here, it locks your bolt to the rear. So just slide that down and then slide forward, and you can just do this. And it is very accurate, mind you. I can't technically buy ammo for this because I'm not 21 and 9mm is pistol ammo. But this August 14th, I'll be able to buy pistol ammo. 9x19mm Parabellum. And it's a very accurate piece. It's got these really nice ghost ring rear sights, and the front sight post is just really nice. And this is one of two models. They have a tactical version, and they have a traditional version. This is the tactical version with the rail locking. And these also all have a fluted barrel for reduced weight. Oh, dude, you could really see this thing's been sitting. It just needs to be cleaned really bad. You can unscrew these and remove the shell off of this to clean the little barrel on the inside, which is really nice. It comes with multiple little Allen key wrenches that you need for assembly, disassembly. It comes with a Picatinny rail here. It comes with an attachable Picatinny for here. It comes with a free one. This is a threaded muzzle. So this is nothing. This does nothing to the gun but protect the threads. So in fact, if you were to go to a hardware store and wanted to know what thread pitch your suppressor is, it should tell you. But all you have to do is unscrew this, like a little nut here. And you would go into the hardware store and you'd put it on different gauges, screw it in and see what the thread pitch is. So when you go and buy a suppressor or go and buy a compensator or flash hider, muzzle brake, or any other muzzle device for that matter, you know what thread pitch fits this rifle, which makes it a really nice process that they have those there. And remember that for when you buy a handgun with a threaded muzzle. Anyway, boys, this is my gun collection. I'd estimate there's anywhere between $5,000 just sitting here. Yeah, I'd say there's about 5,000. That was cheap. That was cheap. That was cheap. That was cheap. That shotgun there was also cheap. That was kind of sort of cheap. This was affordable. This was expensive. This was definitely expensive. This was affordable but expensive. That was expensive. That was expensive. All in all, that was like a $1,200 rifle. What can I say? And then that was a $700 rifle. Or no, it was an $800 rifle. My bad. And after taxes and all the mags and stuff on it, or that I bought, and with the drum mag, I also have a 100-round detachable dual drum for my AR, which is really nice. Loading drum mags is different and weird. But regardless, yeah, I'd say there's about $4,000 to $5,000 worth of firearms here. Considering there is like 11 guns. And some of them are really expensive. Some of them are really cheap. However, when I start getting handguns, because I'll be 21 in a month. Exactly, in a month I'll be 21. I do reckon that I will purchase a couple of like El Cheapo handguns. I really want to get an AK and AR pistol. I don't want the brace. I know that the brace is illegal or whatever. I know that, the ATF how it sees it, but I don't even want a brace on my AR pistol. If I want my AR pistol, I just want the buffer tube just sticking out. I don't care. Sue me. But if I get an AR pistol, I actually low-key want it to be like a really short barrel, and I want this to be as short as possible, but I also want it to take 9mm mags, Glock mags. So yeah, I want an AK pistol, but I want it in 7.62x39, and the other AK I really want a Visca, just because they're really cheap and affordable, and there's a couple of other AKs I want. I definitely want one in 5.45. But the other thing is I'm also going to be buying a PDW, or a personal defense weapon, i.e. the P90. But it's not a P90. It is something else. It's called something else because it's semi-automatic. And I want to SBR it and make it look like a P90. I also want to get a MP5, an SP5, SBR it, and put a suppressor on it, file out all the paperwork. This, I'm low-key just probably going to put a basic-ass flash hider on it and call it a day, honestly. And as far as ARs go, my next AR is going to be like a really cheap build, and I'm going to throw on some interesting shit on it, like a Geisley 2-stage trigger. There's a Black Rain AR-15 that's calibrated in 5.56, standard calibration, but it's an American flag, and I really want that. But there's also the Ruger 5.56. There's also a cool AR-15 made by the same company, Black Rain. That I'm referring to my other the other rifle that has like that American flag wrap on it. It's just a regular jungle camo kind of thing, but it's calibrated in 300 blackout, which is just really weird, really cool, different. 300 blackout's an interesting round. And to be honest, I really want to get some more 22s and hunting rifles. And obviously when it comes to handguns, I want to get a couple revolvers, the Beretta 92 FS, the M1911, the Glock 17, some other like basic handguns that everybody has. So obviously when all that's said and through, my gun collection is going to be really massive, and so it'll be worth quite a bit of money. But I just collect firearms. I shoot firearms. I would love to build firearms. I'd love to make AR builds, but you have to be 21 to buy the lower receiver unless it's a complete receiver, and I just want to start by building the gun entirely. To enhance my gunsmithing skills, and I would like to further my career into gunsmithing. I want to become a gunsmith professionally. I want to make a living off of gunsmithing, i.e. working for a gun company. But yeah, no, these are my pride and joys. I really like them. I really want to get a little M1 carbine. I want to get an M1 Garand. I want to get an M1A by Springfield. That would be excellent. That's a $1,500 rifle. But no, definitely some of those like older surplus kind of things have a lot of value. A Mosin Nagant. Again, the list goes on, but surplus rifles are definitely fun and awesome to collect. ARs are fun to build. They're fun. They're great to shoot. They're fun. You could do a lot to them. You can customize them how you want them. They're great for personal defense. Great for home defense. They're just fun rifles. But as for everything else, including the Wasser 10, I know everyone's opinion on AKs. Some people don't like them. Some people love them. Some people swear by them. Some people curse them. Some people just want one, but then they do all the wrong things to it. But there's an entire AK culture. And for those wondering, this is not a milled receiver. This is a stamped receiver. You can tell the difference between milled and stamped because stamped will have these like little rivets and whatnot, where a milled receiver kind of sort of wouldn't have. That's a direct giveaway. There are some other things, some other differences between the two. You can research that on your own accord. I'm not here to explain guns. I'm just here showcasing my guns. The main reason I also bought this was for home defense, but I found that the AR-15 being more practical because this only holds 3 to 4 rounds. So to me, that wasn't very practical. The Picatinny Railfare flashlight has great target identification, but it would have also been really, really nice if I were to get like a, more capacity, so to speak. But with the capacity being as limited as it is, I think that I'd have the best time with this for personal defense because it holds 8 rounds of shotgun of 12 gauge. And I think they make an extended mag. If they do, I'm going to have to buy an extended mag. Another fun shotgun is the Saiga 12. It's like an AK shotgun. So that would be really fun because this is like an AR-15 shotgun kind of sort of. So Saiga 12 wouldn't be too unridiculous, but I'd say definitely these rifles carry with them some great history and great memories. Some of them I bought them new, some of them I bought them used. I love guns, and I hope to make more gun content on my channel, but oh yeah, don't worry about that. That is actually bowed right there. It's warped, and it needs to be fixed. and I don't know who to go to fix it. So until then, it's going to be like that. So it's unfortunate. But anyway, yeah, this is like the masterpiece firearm here. Like there's just like, this is just so perfect. I just don't even want to touch it, but it is so perfect. I hope you guys could really appreciate. I hope the camera can get this very well. But I hope you guys can really appreciate this gun. It carried some pretty interesting history behind it. So this is your safety. Okay, that disables the trigger. You could still pull the trigger, but nothing happens. You could also still chamber rounds or unchamber rounds. But say you have a little kid running around the house, you just don't want them accessing any of this. Well, chances are they might not have enough intelligence, but what you do is you flip this another notch in the right direction. You get like that. Boom. And guess what? You cannot open up your, you cannot rack it back. I'm not going to put too much pressure on it, but you can feel it like locked. So then you do this, and then it's just like this, and it opens whatever, but it doesn't shoot. And then this is like your safety off. So kind of weird, kind of different. But yeah, no, this rifle, I mean, I hope you guys could truly appreciate this one. If any of them you want to appreciate, at least appreciate this one. Now, I will say one thing, though, for certain. When I get into revolvers, a Colt Python is definitely out of the question. It's not a want. It is a necessity. There's no question about it. It is just... Well, the only thing that makes it out of the question is that I can't afford it. I don't even know if that's the right terminology in that context, but it's without a... What I mean is, there's no question about it. It's happening. Also, fun fact about this painting, it is very disturbing. There's something very creepy about this painting. If you know what it is, let me know. Alright, I'll just go ahead and show you. There's a fucking hand grabbing the woman from over here, from underneath the table. I don't know what the fuck that's about, but it actually creeps me the fuck out. I mean, from a distance, though, you wouldn't really notice it until like you see it, and yeah. But yeah, no, it's fucking creepy. But over on the gangster side, there's nothing really creepy about it. But on the woman's side, she's got that hand grabbing her. But from a distance, it just looks like two very classy people having a good time. He's smoking a nice cigar. But yeah, I noticed that hand when I first got the painting, and just it's creeped me out forever. And I don't think many people realize it, how creepy that kind of is. There's nothing creepy about this, though. This is just really nice. Oh, people lighting off fireworks. That scared the shit out of me, kind of, sort of, because it happened right up there. So at my neighbor's house, and when I walked back there, it just popped out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, that was unexpected. But, I'm going to start putting these away, putting them up. Clean. This one needs to be set back for cleaning. So we're just going to put that right there. For now, I'm going to go ahead and wipe off my fingerprints off of it. But I hope you guys really enjoyed my gun collection. I know there's not a whole bunch of cool, like, there's not a Scar H, or there's not a this or a that, but... I mean, I'm sure there's some guns in here you guys can appreciate. Obviously, Brandon Herrera fans, I gotta notice the AK. Everybody else is gonna notice the AR. Some people might appreciate the cool wrap on my American flag wrap on my PC carbine, but PC carbines are really cool rifles on their own. Some people might appreciate that may possibly be the oldest rifle that I have in my collection next to that, but I can tell you that is definitely older. Some people that have grown up with 22s may have owned one of those or could appreciate one of those. The Ruger 1022. Awesome because it's semi-automatic. The Winchester shotgun people that love the SXP shotgun, the pump, might really like that because I believe that's the first model of Winchester SXP pumps. I could be completely wrong, but I'll find out. I'll research it. TriStar KRX actually won Shotgun of the Year award, so some people might recognize it for that. Some people also might notice that it just sort of looks like other shotguns, like the USAS 12, and the kind of sort of resembles a little bit of the AA-12 if you were to put on the proper furniture. I'm sure they might have an AA-12 like fake kit thing, but it looks almost nothing like an AA-12, considering the magwell is completely different. The AA-12 has this little thing sticking out that you insert the drum mag. You line it up there. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, no, the collection, in my opinion, is impressive. Also, some people that love westerns will really like that up and under. As well as people that love up and unders in general, there's a whole culture of people out there, so I'm sure somebody might appreciate that. The tactical shotty. That gun was $98, by the way. That 22, that black 22 right there. It is a Mossberg 702 Plinkster. It is made in Brazil. It is cheap, and it works, and it's mostly accurate. I don't know if I said what that was, but that is a Mossberg 702 Plinkster. And fun fact, that is actually my first rifle ever owning, ever. But that rifle right there has some pretty interesting elements to it. But like the video if you like old guns or just guns in general, or tactical guns, hunting rifles, whatever. And if you really like weaponry and military stuff in general, like my channel, it's not what I post regularly, but again, I gotta just say, I have a deep appreciation for firearms, and I hope to own more, and I will, especially here soon when I get my Beretta 92 FS. I'm definitely going to make a couple YouTube shorts displaying it, but I will showcase each and every one of these weapons individually on my YouTube shorts here soon. So stay tuned for that, but this is a basic overview of everything, but I hope you guys really like some of these guns. Again, one day I'll own a lot more, but for right now, being 20 years old, about to be 21, owning 11 guns, this is what it looks like. And honestly, it takes up some space, an entire couch. It used to be that chair right there was the throne of guns. I also have that rifle over there. The Zastava M48. Losing my train of thought here. But yeah, I'm gonna own some cheap ARs as well, like some $500 ARs. It's cool to have more than one AR. I understand that, but when I'm gonna own more than one AR, they're all not gonna be high dollar Daniel Defenses and Black Rains. They're not gonna be the higher up DMR kits. They're not gonna be fully tricked. They're going to be relatively cheap and basic. I'm going to have one really nice AR-15 by Daniel Defense one day when I can afford it. But I'm more interested in putting together my own rifles. There's like a special like feeling with that. But I have done a lot of work to that. I did swap out the buffer spring and the buffer itself. I believe the brand was BCM. I forget the exact number, whatever bullshit. I mean, I can take it apart and find out. But I would like to put a Geisley 2-stage trigger in it and swap out the bolt for titanium and swap out the charging handle in it, just because it's going to feel like a totally new rifle. Also, owning an AR-15 with a binary trigger, if they are still legal, when I can acquire one, I will definitely let you guys know if I get one. Anyway, apart from all of this, when I start buying handguns, I'm going to start buying them as far as just quantity over quality. So some of them are going to be really cheap. Some of them are going to be handguns no one's really cares about. But most importantly, though, the three full-size handguns I love, the 1911, the Glock 17, and my favorite out of the three, the Beretta 92 FS. So, only three handguns I'm going to own indefinitely soon. The AK pistol, I might also buy a Draco. Who cares? I don't care. Make fun of me in the comments. I'm going to own a couple Glocks. I'm going to own a couple Springfield handguns. I might own an FJX, I believe it's called, whatever that tactical pistol everyone loves. I might own a Sig Sauer P320. I might even own a Kimber 1911 all tactical. I might own a 10mm 1911 45. I'm going to also get a Henry All-Weather and 4570 government. And the other thing is I want to get a Taurus Judge and a Mossberg 590 Shockwave. Again, my list is really long, and when I get these firearms, I'm definitely going to be posting them on the channel. So, stay tuned, and like I said, I just hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys do. But I got to tell you, that SP5, when I get it SBR'd and suppressed, that is going to be an entire video in and of itself. Because there's a lot of paperwork and little things I have to sign to make it possible. I'm willing to do that. But in the meantime, support all your Second Amendment advocate groups like USCCA or whatever, and the NRA and Gun Owners of America and all the other, join a gun club. If you're like me and love this hobby, start somewhere. Doesn't matter what you want to start owning. Say you're just starting out and you just want something to shoot. I might just go ahead and recommend get a Winchester SXP. And for a handgun, I might just recommend just grabbing a basic Glock. Just learning the handling of both. And then when it comes to ARs, I recommend just buying a cheap Stevenson or Stevens. I think Stevens makes a really cheap AR. And, I mean, there's some really cheap ARs out there if you look for them. But I recommend just getting a basic cheapo AR-15 and then saving your money until you get a higher quality one. Mine is pretty decent, but eventually I'm going to swap some stuff on it. But then I'm going to take all that spare stuff that I swapped out and the stuff that came from that rifle is going to go into another rifle when I go to build it as spare parts. That's kind of sort of where I'm at. I definitely want to get an AR-15 with a muzzle brake, though. And possibly a suppressed AR-15 and 300 blackout. That's going to be fucking sweet. But I'm not going to get the PC carbine suppressed. The next one I might. I don't know. I have to look at suppressors, look at the paperwork, sign it, look at where I'm at with cash. Because it could get really pricey, but it will bring up your value in your gun collection. However, your government's going to look at you and they might not like it. As far as machine guns go, at this time, I do not own one. These are all semi-automatic, bolt action, pump action, double action, whatever you want to call it. It's just not 3-round burst, full auto. It's none of those. It's none of the three. It's not. There's not a single burst rifle. There's not a single automatic rifle, and there's no gun here with a selector switch to flip it to full auto. I don't own those at all at this time. Maybe in the future, when I have enough money, and if the government's nice to me, and I fill out all the right paperwork, maybe. But there's a lot of legal obligation. There's a lot of other stuff with it. So, anyway, this has gone on for about an hour now. And so I hope you guys have a great 4th of July. I'm going to also stream some Black Ops 1 Zombies. And I'm going to post this. Hopefully YouTube doesn't ban me and whatnot. But I hope you guys like it. I love guns. If you love guns, please like the video. And hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, because I don't know when I'm going to be posting gun content. You have to send in the comment sections. I got to see it in the comment sections, or just how many views and likes this video gets if you guys are interested in gun content. I already posted the Mission First Tactical dust cover for my AR on the channel, so I have one gun video on my channel, and I mention on my channel all the time that I own guns and I'm a gun advocate and supporter of our Second Amendment. So if you are also that way, like I said, just please like the video and share it to other people that might. Don't share it to people that you know are just not going to like it at all, because then they might comment some bullshit or whatever, and I don't do them comment section battles. I think that's stupid. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.